Hey, I want everybody, before we get started on this next episode of the Mayor's Office podcast, we are about to drop a big interview with Bergs, aka Bergs of Valley, aka Bergs CTX on Instagram. So you guys go check that out. But yes, you are now tuned into, you are now listening, you are now experiencing the Mayor's Office podcast. Bye. Chris, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How we looking today?
Looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good.
How we smelling today, Chris?
Like fine wine.
Like a vino.
Like a nice little,
1863.
Yeah, maybe like a California, maybe a France. I can't.
Like when they actually step on the grapes.
Yeah, there's some toe jam in here for sure.
Oh, boy.
That's how you know.
How we sounding, Chris?
Couldn't sound better.
Adriel, I got a question for you, man. What episode are we on today?
73.
73 episodes of the Mayor's Office podcast. You already know what it is. I'm your host, Ralph, a.k.a. the Mayor, a.k.a. the last Mayor Bender, a.k.a. excited for the double-digit weather. I'm seeing the 14. I'm seeing the 15, the 16. Loving to see it. And once we get to 18, I swear on my grandmother's life, both of them, because they both passed and I love you dearly, but I'm going to be outside.
It's a promise.
It's a promise to them. A threat to some. But a promise to them. I don't do this podcast by myself. I do it with two of my amazing friends, co-hosts, whatever you want to call them. Coming up first, the owner of 1990 Studios, looking like a Crip. Talk to him.
Well, I don't know about that, but we're back in the building. Mayor's Office podcast. It's your boy Chris, a.k.a. Stacks Edwards, 1990 Studios, here for another episode with the fellas.
Appreciate you, Chris. And I appreciate this brother too, man. He's elite, man. We do interviews, but he does them better. You talk to people, but he talks to them better. You like women, but he loves them better. Adriel Smiley, AdrielSmiley.com. Talk to him.
I'm speechless. I could not ask for a better intro. I'm just happy to be here.
Appreciate you, Adriel. Adriel, you mentioned a little bit earlier that we're on episode 73. We keep going with them. And on episode 73, I want to wish everybody a good day.
Everybody?
Not everybody I want to wish a good day. The people that I don't want to wish a good day. And this may be a repeat for a lot of the people that have listened to the pod before, but it's getting warmer and I'm starting to see the clothes out a little bit more. And the people I don't want to wish a good day are the broke people wearing designer.
Ooh.
That's fair.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Don't ask me for $1 when you're wearing Louis V.
Ugh.
Yeah, I saw someone try and steal from a Shoppers Drug Mart with a Louis bag and a Louis belt.
What are we doing?
And I was disappointed.
Get your priorities right. Get your money up. Focus on the bread, not the designer, not the women, not the clout. Focus on getting yourself right. Good health, good credit. Adriel, 73 episodes. Let's take a trip in the time machine, shall we? Shit.
Before I even get to my list of things, 1973 is an important year for all of us. Did anyone know why 1973 is important? Something very big happened. I'm gonna let y'all try and guess it before we even get to the whole list. If you're listening, if you're watching, in the comments, let us know.
1973. Is it something political?
Not
Ooh.
Political adjacent, but it's important to all of us.
I don't know. Talk to me.
We'll get to it, and when I get to it, I'll let you know which of these things it is.
Okay.
Because you guys should have got this one, and it almost is a crime that you didn't guess this.
Damn.
So if you got this in the comments, you're better than these two.
Damn.
For sure.
Crazy.
That's fair.
Let's start at the top of the year. U.S. President Richard Nixon announces that the end of the Vietnam War is upon us. So we've talked about the Vietnam War for a few episodes now.
A whatless war.
This is the end of it.
Whatless war.
Yeah. This was probably the last time that a war was like so hated. Of course, we didn't love the war in Iraq. That was a separate time. But everyone was kind of like calm about that in a different way. The Vietnam War, everybody hated that it was even happening.
For sure.
Let's talk about basketball because March Madness is happening. So I thought this was very, very time appropriate. UCLA's basketball team wins its 61st consecutive game. 61 straight.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is UCLA Ment?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Shout outs to them.
Yeah. I
Was
feel
this
like
Kareem's team?
this is 73, so Kareem would have already been in the NBA.
Oh, yeah. Fair.
But 61 straight wins is a lot in any sport.
Yeah.
To be fair, and especially like in a college sport too. That seems hard to do. So big shout out to them. We got a lot of great music things happening in 1973. Some legendary albums. This one coming to us from Pink Floyd, their 8th studio album, Dark Side of the Moon. It stayed on the Billboard Top 200 album chart for the next 14 years, selling over 50 million copies worldwide.
Wow.
That's a number we won't hear for an album in our lifetime. The days of 50 million copies worldwide is the past.
Yeah.
So it's great. It's great to hear, but yeah, we're not having that anymore. Now, if an album sells 2 million total, we're like, amazing. This one I completely forgot about, but he obviously was in the news for separate reasons. Future U.S. Senator John McCain is released after spending 5 years as a prisoner in North Vietnam.
Oh, wow. You said John McCain?
Yep.
Damn.
I knew he was a prisoner of war. That was kind of like his claim to fame, which sounds crazy to say.
Yeah, him being a POW for sure.
But 5 years as a prisoner?
That's a long time.
Yeah. I have a little bit more respect for him being a prisoner for 5 years.
Wait, John McCain was he shot his friend, right? Yeah. PTSD.
Yeah.
What can you do?
But I feel like being a prisoner for 5 years had to change your whole perspective.
Definitely.
Like, not the same person after that. I did not know this, but this is 1973. The first ever Met Gala was held.
Shit. One of my goals is for the Mayor's Office podcast to be at the Met Gala.
Yeah, I think tickets are about like 10,000 a piece.
That ain't nothing.
And apparently it's invite only. So there's no way for us to get. So listen, that's why you watch on YouTube. We're dressed up to get our way there.
Come on, man.
Working our way to the Met Gala. And it was honoring designer Balenciaga.
So 30 bands for us to get to the Met Gala?
Yeah, but someone's gonna pay for it.
We'll just put up the studio as collateral.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. This one might be a little more sad, but also happened in New York. The World Trade Center, which at the time was the world's tallest building, opened in 1973, 110 stories.
Wow.
I did not know it was the tallest building at the time. That's news to me, but RIP. U.S. Supreme Court approves equal rights in the military. Trump had his way with that. Stevie Wonder releases You Are the Sunshine of My Life.
Wait, quick question. I don't think we've ever talked about Stevie Wonder on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Is he blind? Do you guys believe it?
Oh man, I love that we're headed here. So
Age-old question.
One of my first ever radio interviews, I interviewed Alan Stone. Big shout out to Alan Stone, and he actually worked with Stevie Wonder. So I asked him. I said, "You've met him. You've worked with him. Is he really blind?" Alan Stone says that Stevie Wonder is really blind.
But you don't think that Stevie makes mans like sign NDAs?
I somehow
I would make niggas sign NDAs.
I think there's a part of me that feels like maybe he's not blind. I'm not going to lie to you because there is that one clip. Do you see when he catches the mic and does that choreography?
Yes.
So that makes me question how blind he really is. But I also feel like what would be the benefit of acting blind all these years?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like
there's a lot of benefit to be the biggest blind artist of all time. Think about it.
Also, it's probably too late for him to like go the other way.
That's fair.
Dolly Parton records her song, I Will Always Love You. Later, a huge hit sung by
Chris.
And I will. Oh, I know it. It's
There's some black facts.
Play the song. Play the snippet.
Oh, it's Whitney.
There you
Whitney.
go. He needed.
Thank you. I needed that little cue.
That's what we need. The black facts.
That's all. We're back.
Big tune.
And then more Stevie Wonder, more black facts. Was involved in a car crash and was in a 4-day coma.
Wait, hold on. Stevie Wonder was involved in a car crash.
Was he driving?
And no, in brackets it says
wow.
as a passenger. And I think it's funny that they had to specify as a passenger.
That's sick. Imagine you just want to go on joyrides blind.
He's got all that money. Let him run the whip one time. Maybe not.
Just on his estate.
Yeah.
I also think
That's
it's
fair.
well, I was gonna say it's not funny, but just imagine being in a car accident as a blind person. Because the image of the car coming towards you is
You wouldn't even
scary
know.
enough.
Yeah.
No, but like you're just sitting in the car and all of a sudden you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like going on a roller coaster blind.
Could be like,
Oh, my
was that an earthquake? Did I get hit? You don't know.
okay, so we are now at the thing I asked you guys about. I'll give you the date if that helps. August 11th, 1973.
August 11th, 1973. Okay, 70s. We got cocaine. We got disco. We got niggas getting in the NBA. I'm gonna say something to do with Michael Jackson.
No, the birth of hip hop.
Oh.
I was in the music lane.
Yeah.
Yep, DJ Kool Herc uses 2 turntables, records simultaneously. They called it the merry-go-round technique at the time. I'm sure no one calls it that anymore.
Definitely not.
But the birth of hip hop.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that like we did all these years that hip hop technically like was not invented yet. Like that's the crazy part. It's like it did not exist,
hmm
and now it did. So
It's like magic.
yeah, birth of hip hop, huge one. This one is for Chris. I only included this for Chris's reaction. Okay, 2 bettors win the largest U.S. daily double. It's happened in Detroit, which I know is a city you got a lot of love for. Want to guess how much it was? The largest daily double.
$50 million.
$19 million.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. More black facts. Let's hear that one more time.
Shit.
I love it.
I think that one's actually perfect for this one because NFL record 250 yards at the time by, you guys want to guess who it is?
Joe Brown?
O.J. Simpson.
Oh, the juice.
Yeah, I-
The white Bronco. R.I.P.
Man.
I know you guys did not see that one coming. And then this is the last one, and I'm gonna pose a question to you guys after this.
Okay.
But President Nixon named Jim Thorpe the greatest athlete of the first half of the century. Now, some stuff about Jim Thorpe. He won the gold in the pentathlon and the decathlon in 1912. He played professional baseball, football, and basketball. And in the decathlon in 1912, he placed in the top 4 in all 10 events.
Okay.
He eventually was the president of the American Professional Football Association, which became the NFL. So,
He deserves it.
yeah, quite the resume.
He deserves
Yeah.
it.
Quite the resume. We're now again 2025, so we're at the like quarter mark of this century.
Yes.
Who would you say is the best athlete of this quarter century?
From 2000 to 2025?
Yeah, best athlete. Period.
Messi.
I gotta say LeBron.
Ooh.
Yeah, I would have to say LeBron.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sticking with Messi.
Yeah.
Messi may be the most accomplished, but I think LeBron is just what he's done athletically, how good he is still at this age. Because we don't have as many 2-sport athletes as much. I think the closest would be like someone like Michael Phelps.
Mm-hmm.
Deion
just-
Sanders.
Deion's up there. Yeah. He's
But
up there. But I wouldn't put him in that
No.
upper echelon like Messi and
Not
Bron.
on-
Yeah.
yeah, he wasn't
Yeah.
that good in baseball, but he was still good enough.
Oh, he turned in terms of 2-sport
Two-sport
athletes.
athletes. That's what I was
Oh,
thinking.
yeah.
two
No, he
sports,
was a
right?
decent 2-sport athlete
know?
for sure.
Yeah,
When I say decent, I mean his baseball half.
yeah. I hope that comes back. The 2-sport athlete. Like I know
I think
that's
it will.
like
I think it
a
will.
thing of the past.
I think
but-
it will.
I'm worried about it because of the contracts.
Mhm.
Like for example, in the NBA contracts, players aren't allowed to like ski and snowboard and things like that they could
True.
get injured doing.
True.
So I feel like a lot of teams won't want their players playing
Yeah.
in a whole nother league.
You'd have to play in like a smaller known sport and then a major league sport.
Yeah.
But to be in 2 major league sports,
And I think, was it Bo Jackson who almost missed a football game because of a baseball game?
I think so. Yeah.
I think that
That's
incident is what
Yeah.
owners are afraid of. It's
Yeah.
like, am I going to miss this player because
Yeah.
they got prior engagements?
who'd you have for Adriel had his, I had mine. Who'd you have for
Yeah. So for me, I have my boy Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods is up there too.
Oh, he won a
up
lot
there.
in golf. He's done a lot for golf.
Tiger Woods is not
You know?
bad.
I think we all picked really good ones. Like
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody outside of those 3 really.
He's not 2 sports, but someone who I think is just could be a phenomenal athlete. Travis Hunter playing running
Yes.
back or cornerback on the defense and on the offense.
I'm
he's
interested
playing
to
running
see
back.
how Travis's
Yeah,
career
yeah.
pans out for sure. I want to see where he gets drafted. This is gonna be a nice NFL draft for sure.
And we got to mention Shohei.
So
like,
hey, yeah.
I think it's hard to mention a baseball player because I look at them as the least athletes. Like they're up there with golf as like how much athleticism is used in this sport. But Shohei is still a one of one.
Yeah.
Like we've never seen
M.O.P.
anything like that. So I think, listen, all those guys are GOATs in their own way. All great options. Let us know in the comments. One person I think we got to name, even though he's probably not in this category because he is mostly one sport, Usain Bolt. Obviously a living legend. But
Yeah.
I want to know if there's anyone we're missing, what people are thinking.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Gentlemen, I have a random question for you guys before we really kick things off and go into our various rooms of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys hypothetically were on a first date, I know we're all in our situations, whether single or married or in a relationship. Are you guys eating with your hands at dinner? First date at a restaurant, are you eating with your hands?
I think my answer is most likely not, but also it depends because if I get wings on the first day, I'm eating wings with my hands. Like I'm not eating.
So you're ordering wings on the first date?
No.
Now, usually I just don't do dinner on the first date. Like we'll do something else.
I'm saying like your first dinner date, the first time you guys are going out to eat.
Probably I would get wings in.
This guy's just doing all you can eat, just dripping down his face on his first date.
In the beard?
In the beard too.
If that's gonna stop you, we ain't meant to be.
You're gonna get a chicken beard, like in your beard, on the first date. I
Yeah.
respect it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was thinking about it. I saw a TikTok about it. So I'm like, let me figure to ask you guys because I was always subconscious of eating with my hands in front of somebody that I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like it's a little messy and whatever. Like, so obviously some people don't care. I do. Like, so I want to eat with a fork and a knife if I'm eating with you for the first time.
You want to be civilized.
A little bit. And then sooner or later, the tacos and the wings start coming out.
So, Chris, you're not...
Nah. First date, we're going to go classy. Maybe a nice little steakhouse. Kegs are good. They're a little pricey, but the keg's probably like a good first date I like. That's where I like to roll.
That's why he's married.
Yeah,
why not?
100%.
Come on, man.
I've done pizza on the first date, like a nice pizza spot, which counts as eating with your hands. Not as messy.
It's not as bad, but yeah.
But I think personally, I'm always like, this is what it is. Like, if a little food on the face is gonna deter you, it's not meant to be, man.
You know what? That's fair. I know. Also, we're just thinking more of like the North American version. But you go to other countries and like India, whatever, they just eat with their hands all the time.
Yeah.
That's like normal. So maybe we're looking at it through the wrong lens.
No, I have a friend who's from one of those countries, and I was at an event, and some of her friends had to explain to me what the food was and how to eat it. I was like, do I need a knife and fork? I'm not even sure. So, 100%.
You thought roti was going to be there. It was not roti.
I was like, it looks like roti, but no, it's not.
Before we get in the music room, I did want to give a shout out to one listener, just since we're halfway through the podcast. Big shout out to Jordan Campbell, one of my homies from York, big hooper. You know, if you know, you know. This guy was extremely talented, probably still is. You never know, man. Niggas get buckets at any point in their life. So shout out to Jordan Campbell. He actually listens to the podcast in Spain.
Oh, wow. International.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Shout out Jordan.
Big shout outs to you, Jordan. Appreciate you. Now I want to do something sweet for the fans, gentlemen. Can we step into the music room? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd like to walk you into the music room. Shit. I like it. We are into the music room, fellas. I got a question for you guys. We already know that female rap is running the game right now. A lot of talented artists. The roster is deep. The roster is heavy. I need each of you to pick 2 female artists. One for your hook and one for your verses.
See, I did not know this was a hip-hop question.
Me neither.
Because my artists I thought of were not hip-hop at all.
Okay.
But I know that that's your home, so I can adjust.
We could pivot.
Are you sure we can switch it up?
No, because I
think there'll be more variant answers if we switch it up.
Listen, I can mix the two. I'm versatile.
Say less.
I can mix the two. So I'll go with my hook first, okay? I want my song to do well on the charts. I'm not making the song for no reason, okay? I got bills to pay. I need the song to go well. For my hook, I'm tapping in with Rosalia. Okay, I want this to be international. Everyone needs to hear this. She's very versatile in terms of sounds she can do. So Rosalia is for my hook. But for my verses, I want somebody smooth. Okay, I'm staying international. I'm going Lil Sims. Lil Sims is doing the verses. Rosalia on the hook.
Okay.
You're getting a sound that's not like the regular sound everyone else is doing. This song is going to stand out. Okay, so I think I may have the best sounding song, and I got a good chance of,
you never
up on
know.
the charts.
Me and Chris might have something different.
I'm confident. I'm confident.
I like that though. That's a good balance.
Mhm.
Two worlds. Chris, what do you got?
Well, since I had to pivot on the fly and I only had 3 seconds to think about this, I'm going for, let's see, for the hook, I'm going to take it back to, and we're on the hip hop side of things. Let's take it back to a fan favorite of this podcast, and I'm putting Glorilla on this. Glorilla, give me a nice little hook, stay hip hop.
Okay.
I'm rolling with it. I think she's putting up points right now. So
You're definitely gonna go viral.
trying.
Yeah, big shout out.
Who's on your verse?
Who's on my verse? So for my verse, I'm actually going to take it back a little bit farther, and it kind of plays into the next part we're going to get into, but I'm going to say Dej Loaf.
Oh, really? And Dej Loaf is a nice combo.
Could be.
No, he has all the women who are wearing pajama pants to school
And bonnets.
going crazy.
Well, Whippy's close to Oshawa, and pajama pants are huge in Oshawa.
No, he
Pajama pants and Crocs.
his game play the cookout for sure.
Okay. I did a little changing on the fly. You know what I mean? But I think I got a good record here. All right, on the hook, I want someone tried and true, someone young but still is putting up big numbers. On the hook, I'm gonna go Billie Eilish on the hook. Okay. But Billie Eilish, she has a smooth soul. Some could say a little bit of an old soul mixed with a little bit of a hipster vibe. So who is a rapper out there that can hit you on a smooth level, voice isn't too harsh, but still can drop a good verse? I'm going to put Flo Milli on the verse.
Billie Eilish? Okay.
I think they can give a nice love / we're doing it for the ladies type of track together.
I'm not mad at that. I think we left a lot of good artists on the table. I got to say that.
Definitely.
A lot of good artists on the table.
Part one. This is part one.
Yeah, this is part one. I got to say, I probably would like Chris's song the best. Dej Loaf and Glorilla.
Summertime's coming.
Yeah,
that's definitely playing at the cookout.
It's a good outside track.
Yeah.
Chris is thinking about the Rippers, the strip club.
Yeah,
that's going up in the strip club.
Go with what you know.
Flo Milli, Billie Eilish though, I don't know if I love that one. I feel like Billie Eilish on a hook. I don't know if I'm feeling that.
I think she can do it, man. I think she can do it, bro.
It will stream well. I'll give you that. You're definitely making your money back on that one.
He's recouping.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess let us know in the comments. What do you guys think? But I think mine probably would be the best song. I think I would like Chris's song the best, and yours probably might stream the best. So this question I think is almost happening in front of our eyes in a lot of ways. And as ring culture has taken over the internet, we ask ourselves, who are the players who have tainted their legacy because they didn't win a ring? And I actually was going to write an article on this 2 years ago when one of our favorite players made the finals, Chris Paul. And I think that, to me, he's the number one person on this list in terms of his legacy is tainted by not winning a ring. And I think it goes hand in hand because he also didn't win an MVP, which he was in the top 5 a bunch of times. Never won the MVP, never won a ring. And I feel like a lot of ways, an MVP sometimes can be in place of a ring. It's like, I didn't win the championship, but I showed I was the top guy. Chris, who do you have as someone who their legacy was tainted because they didn't win a ring?
Yeah, I don't want to say it was tainted, but I guess it's going to put some asterisks on their career. So mine's Joe Thornton. Had a great career in Boston, went over to San Jose, 15 playoff series wins. He got 1,900 regular postseason games, scoring 1,673 points. And they went to the Western Conference Finals in 2016, came to the Leafs at the end of his career, trying to bring some depth, some experience to the team when we were pushing for a cup like we have been for 8 freaking years, but that's another sidebar. So I think people are going to look at it like when they're picking if he's going to be Hall of Fame or not.
Yeah.
That could be a question mark. Well,
You think he's a question for Hall of Fame? I think he's automatic. No,
I think he's automatic, but I'm sure there are people that look out like, oh, did he ever actually win? You know, he won gold with Canada.
Yeah.
But still could never pass that threshold. He did what I think Ray Bourque did when Ray Bourque left Boston in the end of his career after being the captain of that team. Left it to Joe. He went to Colorado and won the cup.
Yeah.
And then Joe Thornton did that and just couldn't get over that hump.
And I think that's a good comparison, Ray Bourque, because I think when Ray won the cup, it was big validation. Even though he had been a guy for a long time, it was almost as if everything. It's almost like in basketball when Dirk won his championship. It's like this championship almost counted as two.
Yeah.
Because you had been the guy for so long, you had done so much that it's like you deserve this. Joe Thornton, I think, is a good one. I think he's an automatic Hall of Famer to me. Like, I don't kind of fault him for not winning, but because I think that wasn't his like play style. Like he wasn't giving like, I'm the killer, gonna carry my team. That was never. He was like really good, not a glue guy, but more like I help raise the floor of this team, not the ceiling of this team.
Yeah.
So to me, he's a Hall of Famer. But you're right. Some people may just say, he has all these accolades, all these stats, but where's the championship?
Yeah, I don't even think he went to the Stanley Cup final. It was only the Western Conference.
Yeah.
Final. So,
and that's a good one.
You know what? It's kind of Chris. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say,
go ahead. No.
It's kind of like Chris Paul, right? Like he's done all this, but he still just can't get over that hump.
Yeah. No, and I think too sometimes, and I learned this from like my friends and his friends who are all younger, how they view the past with players. They weren't there. So they're going off of, did you lead the league in this stat? Like maybe it's assists or points, or did you win this award? And Chris Paul and even Joe Thornton, one of those players, like they were in the top 5 conversation for 12 years, it felt like.
Yeah.
But if you weren't there, you're like, you know, where can I look in the stat sheet and see how good this guy was? So I think there's some of these players who are really good, but there's not that one stat or accolade that kind of puts it all together.
I can see that. Yeah. Chris Paul, man, I wish you got a ring, brother.
Yeah.
So I had 3 players. You guys mentioned Chris Paul more than I would like to hear, but I have 2 other players. I feel like this guy, early 2000s, talented player, scoring machine. Everybody feared him. We talked about him last episode. If he won a chip, the kids these days would look at him different. His peers would look at him different. The analysts would look at him different. I'm going to go with T-Mac, Tracy McGrady. If he had playoff success, got a chip in Houston with Yao Ming, I think a lot of people would look at Tracy McGrady's career differently because he was the definition of a problem.
I like the T-Mac one. It's funny. T-Mac is usually the guy that I reference when I say that era is overrated, because T-Mac had basically no playoff success at all. And
the West was so tough,
but not even winning one series. Like,
for sure.
And
You can't go around that.
And I think what's funny is the way we talk about some of the players in this era. You know, whether it's like a Dame who's never been to the finals or Harden who people say has choked. It's like T-Mac would trade for those guys' playoff resume in a second.
Yeah, the lack of a series win is actually ridiculous, and that leads me to my next person that has multiple series wins, made it to the finals, and we see him damn near every single day on TNT, and they clown him. And he's cool with it. He's been rocking with the jokes and whatever for years. He's been way past his playing days. But that's Charles Barkley, man.
Yeah.
The kids these days don't know how good Charles Barkley was.
That's a fact.
He was a problem. At times, he was the second best player. And who was the best player at that time?
Michael Jordan.
So he was the best player in the world, technically.
Yeah.
No, like,
because you're playing next to Jesus.
When I grew up and realized that he led the dream team in scoring, that has to be the stat of all stats.
100%.
Because leading a team in scoring with those guys on the team, like, you have to be good. So Charles probably is the actual answer to this, because I think that people look at him as this funny guy on TV, and he was good but not that good. But Charles was a legitimate problem.
If you take Michael Jordan out of the 90s, right? Playoff success, championships, everything, just who he was. And Charles Barkley was still playing at the level he was and is who he is. He'd be on that list of top 10 players in the NBA just because his accolades now would meet with his numbers. You feel me? He'd have multiple MVPs. He'd at least have 2 chips. And people will talk about him a lot differently than they do now.
Is there someone from this era before we move to the next room who has a bit of that? Obviously, it's still early for a lot of these guys, but we talked about him last week. To me, the guy is Joel Embiid. Like,
from this era?
Yeah, I think that in the moment, he's given a lot of love, but the no championship is definitely something that, like, we're going to remember that he never even really, really got close.
For sure.
And I think if you look at the other guys who are in his class, his age range, you know, they've all had their variations of success where it's like Giannis has a championship, Jokic has a championship, Tatum has a championship. That it's like he was arguably in that group with all of those guys and didn't win one. I think Luka, of course, everyone's assuming Luka's gonna win an MVP or a championship or both.
Yeah.
Like, he's still so young, we're assuming it's gonna happen. But he would be the other one that if Luka somehow doesn't win a championship, that's gonna be a big black mark on his record.
For sure. But Luka led a team to the finals at 24-25, so the jury's still out on him. Embiid, man, Adriel's had minutes on minutes of just ranting on you, and rightfully so. Shout outs to Philly, man.
Yeah, I can't. I don't want. I want to stop right here because Embiid, I don't want to go any further. I always talked about his boy Paul George, but
oh boy,
let's move into the film room. Let's move into the film room.
All right, Adriel, I need you to tell me a few actors that have their best movie and worst movie. So you could tell me the actors, and I'm just gonna try to figure out what their best movie was and what their worst movie was. Is that cool with you?
Okay.
Talk to me.
Okay, let's start with Matt Damon.
Matt Damon, top quality actor, waiting to see The Odyssey next year, directed by Christopher Nolan. I'm going to say Matt Damon's best movie might be The Martian.
You think so?
It might be The Martian. I enjoyed The Martian.
Comments, please let us know, because I don't think that's the popular answer here.
No. I would go secondary to that, Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting put me on to Matt Damon for sure.
Matt Damon was my first guess because he has so many options for this. You know, like there's Good Will Hunting, The Bourne Identity, Interstellar, Saving Private Ryan. I think he's in the Ocean movies, correct? Yeah. So you got a bunch of options here. So I think
I'm right to some people and I'm wrong to others.
That's how the game goes. What would you say is his worst movie?
His worst movie, I'm gonna go with. I didn't like We Bought a Zoo.
I was thinking, good call.
Oh my God. I didn't even see that one.
I didn't like We Bought a Zoo. I felt like it was trying to be Oscar baity. I watched it. It didn't hit me like emotionally like I thought it was gonna hit me. So yeah.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. Chris, how do you feel about his answers?
I think they're good. I'm putting Good Will Hunting at the top. The other movie I was gonna put was I would say is Departed.
Yeah, The Departed.
Yeah, The Departed is good. The thing is, I was gonna say The Departed because that's in my top 3 all time.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that's a Matt Damon movie. There's so many big names that have so many big roles in the movie.
That's fair.
That it's like I feel like leading wise, it's a DiCaprio / Matt Damon. Like when I watch The Martian and Goodwill, I'm like, okay, there's a Matt Damon movie. Like he's the main character. You know what I mean?
That's fair. I actually rewatched Goodwill last night. So
R.I.P. Robin Williams.
Yeah, R.I.P. Rob. But Matt Damon also is a writer. So I think when I see some of his movies, I'm like, I feel like it's almost more of his movie because I know that he writes as well. So some points for that.
Do you have any other actors?
Yeah, I got 2 more.
Talk to me.
My next one is Will Smith.
Ooh, this one's good. Will Smith, I'm going to go with the worst movie from Will Smith is After Earth for sure. It doesn't get worse than that.
That's an easy one. I have another suggestion in a Will Smith worst movie.
Okay.
After Earth is obviously a great selection. We're not going to question that. But can you hear me out on Aladdin?
You know what? Aladdin was bad.
Yeah.
Aladdin was bad.
Okay.
But I'll throw Wild Wild West in there too.
Wild Wild West is good, man.
What?
Yeah.
The Wild Wild West slanders
You guys
go
like
too
Wild
far.
Wild West?
Absolutely.
I was not feeling Wild Wild West.
Damn,
the slanders going too far.
And then for best movie, obviously, well, it might not be obvious, but for me, it's Pursuit of Happiness.
That's mine as well.
That's Will Smith's best movie
That is
for
good
sure.
one.
Yeah. The honorable mention for best movie for him, I would say, is Men in Black.
The first one.
Yeah, I think Men in Black, it's like forgotten about. We don't talk about it enough. But think about when you first saw Men in Black. Like that was a moment.
Yeah.
You know, almost like when you first saw The Matrix. You're like, oh,
1997, the CGI like was really good for its time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, the storyline was really good. Like Tommy Lee Jones was good. I like the dynamic between him and Will.
Yeah. Right? Will's good in these kind of two-person Bad Boys is like that
Yeah, Bad
too.
Boys is another one for sure with him.
Yeah, he's good at playing off of someone. Also, the concept of like these aliens in plain sight. Like, think about what we know about the world now.
Yeah.
And aliens in plain sight back then. Like, they were ahead of the game. So,
I like Independence Day too. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
that's a classic. I wouldn't put it in as like upper echelon, but that's a classic.
That's a go-to. You could just throw it on.
Yes, sir.
Anytime, just run it.
Yes, sir.
And we're gonna stay with the black facts. I got one more person for you.
A black person?
Yeah.
Shit.
And I recently watched a movie with this person in it, and this person in this movie, you almost forget they're in the movie because it has so many stars.
Mm-hmm.
But that person is Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, best and worst movie.
Yeah.
Okay. That's gonna be tough for the worst. I gotta figure that one out. But the best movie in my top 5 for Jamie Foxx is Django Unchained.
That feels like the obvious answer. There's a couple more that are really good.
I mean, he has Ray.
Baby Driver, Any Given Sunday.
Yeah, Baby Driver is not really the main guy, but he did really well in Baby Driver. I like this character. Any Given Sunday for sure. I would say for his worst movie, damn, that's gonna be tough. I would probably go with Robin Hood. Robin Hood was pretty bad.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, Robin Hood was bad.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx, I think, is hard to have in this category. And next time we do this, we'll do it with all female actresses. But Jamie Foxx is such a good actor that it's hard to have him acting well, but the movie be bad.
True.
So he's like a hard one for this one because every scene he's in, he raises the level of the scene. So it's hard to say the movie's bad when he's killing his role.
I agree. And fun fact about Django, you mentioned Will Smith. Will Smith was actually supposed to be Django.
How do you guys feel about that? Would that have been the same?
No, I think he would have been too he's too
Will
much
Smith.
of a he's Will Smith. And I think he would have altered the script a little bit more and adjusted some things, whereas Jamie Foxx would have been a little more subservient to what the script provided.
Yeah.
And I think too, the movie starts out with Django kind of on his come up story.
Yeah.
I think Will Smith doing his come up story, it doesn't hit the same. It's like, I can see you're Will Smith.
You're still Will Smith.
Just because they didn't line you up doesn't mean like, I'm buying it.
Exactly. And we all know Jamie, but to put him on the big screen for like a big director's film, yeah, it's kind of like he's still kind of unknown. Like, can he do good in this role? Like, we all liked Ray, but this is like a blockbuster. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Jamie actually killed it and kind of made that movie his own.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Will apparently was supposed to be Neo in The Matrix.
For sure.
Heard that before?
Yeah, I heard that.
Another one I'm like, I don't know because I think Will almost has too much star power for certain roles, even when he was in his younger days.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say it was 97.
But I think like there's certain roles where his star power helps, like Independence Day.
It did, yeah.
I think it helped. I think even
Bad Boys.
Sure. Even Men in Black. It's kind of like
it would have took away from the plot of The Matrix.
So I think he has certain roles where his star power helps what we think about the character, and then certain roles where it's like being a star slave just doesn't really hit the same.
And it worked out because Keanu, he needed that because now Keanu's Keanu. You know what I mean? Will still will. So
yes,
not mad at it.
One sleeper, I'm surprised he didn't slide in there. Maybe I don't know if you've seen it. Soul.
Oh, that's a good one.
No, he did really good in Soul.
Yeah,
and Soul
that's
came
a
out.
banger.
You know one thing I'll say about Soul? As an animated movie, it came out during the pandemic. I think a lot of people skipped over it, and it's very quality.
So good.
Well,
It's a really
I
good
watched it more
movie.
than once. Yeah, Soul is up there for
Soul's
sure.
beautiful. Like if anybody, I think is it DreamWorks or Pixar? One of the
Pixar.
two. Yeah.
Pixar. Disney Pixar.
Disney Pixar. Yeah. It was a beautiful movie. That's a great call for sure.
Yeah, I think this would be like a different ranking. We probably need research for of like animated voices and how they do. Because we almost don't notice the voices sometimes in these movies. It's just like we're used to it. So for another episode.
Yeah, I think that's the best. I think that's when they do the best, when you don't really recognize the artist or it doesn't have to overtake the role and you're like, this is just.
It's like Madagascar.
Yeah.
Like at a certain point, all the star power, you kind of just get over it and it's just like, this is just
true.
a movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was good. You made a good list. Maybe next episode we'll do females.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Yeah.
That'll be nice. A lot of actresses that are doing talented stuff. We can see their best and worst pictures.
Yeah, I try and stay away from anyone who's in superhero movies. I think that kind of clouds the judgment, you know?
I like that.
So to stay away from anyone who's doing Avengers or any DC stuff kind of makes it a little bit more fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it wouldn't matter to me because I'm not a big superhero guy, but especially a guy like Ralph, I'm like, you might have...
I have a little bias.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I respect it.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I ain't mad at that. Gentlemen, 73 episodes of the Mayor's Office podcast by eBay. We're introducing new drops, new sounds, new vibes. Chris, can you play with Black Facts one last time? Shit. I love it. I love it. I love it.
One.
73 episodes of the Mayor's Office podcast. You already know how we rock, how we close our episodes. We got the animation suggestion, our non-rap suggestion, and usually we do a creator showcase, but I want you to tune in for what I'm about to say for the creator showcase at the end of this episode. My animation suggestion, you guys go on Amazon Prime, okay? There's a show, it's called Secret Level, okay? Secret Level, what it is different takes on PlayStation video games. So, like, there's a Pac-Man episode. Have you guys ever watched Love, Death, and Robots?
Yes.
Yeah, same type of vibe of that, but it's like different PlayStation properties.
Oh, it's called Secret Levels?
Yeah,
okay, I've seen it. I've seen it.
So there's a Pac-Man episode, there's a Mega Man episode, there's like a Warhammer, like there's all these different video games.
It's good.
So it's cool, it's small takes, and each episode is like between 8 to 20 minutes. Like it's nothing too crazy. So you guys tune in to Secret Level on Amazon Prime. Guys, non-rap suggestions. Chris, man.
Wait, before you even get there,
Talk to me.
because I know you're the anime king.
Talk to me.
Okay?
Yes.
There's an anime that I was told about called Solo Leveling. Have you heard of it?
Solo Leveling is good. It does take a lot of pieces from other popular animes. The main character is a little too overpowered for my liking.
Okay.
But I did have it as an animation suggestion in the past. You guys get Crunchyroll, watch it. The animation, though, top notch. The fights, top notch. The story, mid.
Because it's blazing the streets right now. People are saying it's the highest rated anime since Attack on Titan.
It's great. It has the hype right now just because the other animes that are dropping right now in this season, they're not competing with Solo Leveling.
Do you think it's deserving of the hype?
It's good. It's good. It's not in my top 5, top 10 or anything like that, but I do enjoy watching Solo Leveling.
I just wanted to get your take because once I heard someone bring something, I said, Ralph has mentioned this before.
Yeah.
I'm aware of this anime, but I saw it climbing up the charts. And so I had to see, is the hype worth it or is it just...
It's a lot of hype for it. It's
getting that Severance hype.
It's getting that mid Game of Thrones hype when now everybody's watching Game of Thrones, where it's still good, but it's like, is it really as good as the first few seasons? You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's a great question, though. You should ask me that more often if it's something you should watch.
Yeah, if it's actually for real.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I don't want to throw off your flow, but
yeah.
Severance, not very good.
Whoa.
How much did you watch?
What?
Yeah, I went like 3 or 4 episodes deep, and I'm like, for me, it's just, I'm like,
maybe it's just not your type of show.
I liked the concept, but I don't know what it is. It didn't suck me in. Pause.
Yeah, I can understand that because I think it's like nothing is resolved. Like you don't know what's going on. It's just a bunch of unanswered questions.
Yeah. That's fair.
I would say stick with it though, because the first season arguably is better than the second season. Okay. So at least finish season 1 and then see how you feel.
All right, I'll do it. I'll do it for the pod.
Yeah. But
this week, the last episode, the season finale for this season dropped.
Yeah.
But I would say overall, I'm kind of leaning towards Adriel's thoughts. The first season is a little better. The second season has some episodes that drag a little bit. I'll say that. But there are a lot of answered questions. I'm not mad at it not being for you.
Yeah. And I think too, visually, the second season is better.
Yes.
So like from a like directing, cinematic standpoint, the second season is better.
But writing wise, the first season you'd have. Right?
Yeah, the first season is better. But the thing I'll say about this show is that it definitely has people captivated in just the idea of what it is, because it's a show that's based on this like futuristic theory, but feels very present.
Yes.
And it's almost like Men in Black, like we said before. It's like it feels like it's happening right now, but the actual concept is almost a different world completely. So I think that's what a lot of people are caught up in, but you almost got to see like, where does this go? Like that lasts an episode, and then I'm like, okay, what next?
Yeah, 100%. It always has you wanting more. But finish the first season, give your take on it, because you come from a different world of like the type of shows you watch, and it's different from the type of shit that I watch. You know what I mean? So your likes are going to be different from my likes or Adriel's likes. So I'm interested to see how you feel about the first season.
Yeah. I'll finish it off. You guys had such, you guys were boosting it up. So I'm like, all right, let me tap into this. It was like a Sunday, and I'm just like, I find myself on the phone. Not a Sunday show.
Nah, you got to do that on like a Thursday night, chilling, putting your feet up, and really like seeing what's going on.
I'm happy that he said that, because I was kind of in the middle between the two of you guys.
Yeah.
Because Ralph was like, best show ever in history. And I was watching
I said of this like current decade.
But I was watching the new episode, and I said to myself, I like this show, but I don't think I'm as hype as everybody else is. So to hear you say like you didn't like it completely, I'm like, we got a lot of balance on the show.
That's fair. That's fair.
Honest.
I like the parody.
Honest reviews.
You know what I do like is your non-rap suggestion.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah. You got a banger in here.
I do, man. I do. This was playing like, when YouTube, you type in on YouTube like one music video, right? And then you leave and do some shit. And then an hour later, some random shit starts pulling up. And this just brought me back to my childhood, man. The nostalgia that I got when I was a young teen that enjoyed running up a flight of stairs. Now I'm scared of seeing it. Gwen Stefani, The Sweet Escape. Classic. Arguably Gwen Stefani's best song. Or most popular song. At least it's up there.
I don't know
it's up there.
I don't know about that, but it's definitely one of her bigger. I think Holla Back Girl's probably still.
Oh yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one.
But
I like this more than Holla Back Girl personally.
But this is one with Akon, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Big shout out to Akon back in those days. Yeah.
But yeah, that's my non-rap suggestion. Gwen Stefani, The Sweet Escape. Shout out to Gwen Stefani wherever you are.
Yeah, I wonder what she's up to. I'm keeping it current. I actually used to listen to this artist a lot back in the day. Hadn't checked up on them in over a decade, but reviewed their album last week. Actually liked it. Lady Gaga, Perfect Celebrity. She still has it. She's still in shape.
That's good, because she can't act.
Ooh. Say that for another pod.
Yeah,
Chris, what you got?
That's fair. No, with you, my wife would agree. She's loving the Lady Gaga album. Me, I could take it or leave it, but I get it. It is good. Like, she's quality.
So you're throwing away Severance and Lady Gaga.
Yeah, Severance, Lady Gaga is just, could be over there, But it's for someone, just maybe not for me.
West Side Gun and Sopranos.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, keep.
Take it or leave it.
That's a big keep. Both those are keeps. So actually, I changed my pick because Ralph, you kind of put me in that nostalgic kind of thought. So I'm going Misery Business by Paramore.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're in the era right now.
I need to listen to more Paramore again, man. It was a good time.
Shout out to Paramore, man. Paramore's one of those nostalgic acts that made it to the present successfully.
Yeah.
So.
And she's like an artist I think like a lot of people just like respect. And
for sure.
She's just like, I feel like she can move around if she wants, but
yeah, like I would say of like all the female leads of bands, she's near the top, no? Like
must. Who else?
Yeah, like I think obviously Fleetwood Mac, but like in this current era, like
yeah,
like who else is there even? So yeah, big shout out to her. Sorry, Hoobastank.
Oh man,
the last time you heard that,
dude. Honestly, I hear the Hoobastank all the time. My boy's last name's Hubiak. I call him Hoobastank half the time.
I love that.
So Hoobastank comes up in my mind way too often.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, no, that could leave it too.
Oh my goodness. I'm happy that everyone made it to this part of the podcast. Like, we appreciate y'all sticking with us. We got a big career showcase for you guys coming. So I'm excited for y'all to see that because this is a special one, honestly. Very special one. Yeah,
we got Bergs, a.k.a. Bergavelli, a.k.a. Berg CTX. He pulled up to the pod, so we got some special content coming up with Berg. So I hope you guys get a chance to, sit down, relax, subscribe, and watch it. Shout out to Bergs, man.
And if not for nothing else, he brought us a complete new term that we were not using before. I know you heard of manifestation, galifestation.
I think I've had galifestation before,
What do you mean you've
Like
had
in
it?
the
Like,
past,
is it a
like-
dish? Like,
No.
I've tried it. I've sampled
yeah,
it.
No, like there's a girl that you want,
I've
and you're
had it
like,
with
yo,
rice.
yeah, I want this girl. You know what I mean? And then you end up
And it's
getting
like
a girl,
infatuation.
being with the girl.
I've definitely galifested before, for sure, for sure.
Shout out to the niggas out there that put that confidence out there to, you know, make their galifestations.
I'm
a thing.
galifesting right now.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Chris galifestationed his wife, yo.
I'm telling you, it works. It works. Speak it into existence. But all the podcast listeners, leave us a rating and a review. 5 stars, not a single star less. That's how we get up those rankings. Make sure you find us on YouTube at the Mayor's Office Pod, at the Mayor Media. And until next time, know yourself, know your worth.